Hello and welcome to this video about the second submission on your thesis. And now I want to focus on what is a little bit expected on the literature review and give you some suggestions. And basically in the literature review, we need two sections. One is huge, the main body, but I would suggest if you think about three sections, which is also kind of the last part, the visual representation. So basically, you first need to talk about the how did you perform the literature review. You need to be transparent. You need to show the quality of your review. You need to show how you search for the articles. How did you discriminate which articles to review, which ones you did review and which ones you didn't, and why not. That is basically the method. It's not, of course, it's not as long as the main body of the literature review, but it's still very important that you talk about this. Also, don't get confused with this being in the methodology chapter or in the method chapter, because the method is about the method of how you collect and analyze the data of your study. This is how you kind of collect the literature. How did you select the literature and how did you search for the literature? So you really, it's very strange if you find something like this in a published article, and especially an empirical study. It's very strange that you find how it's done. You find it in the articles that are review articles. There are articles that they do literature reviews and then they are publishing what is in the literature right now, and they show you what is going on in the literature, and they do have this method part when they show you, we did it like this, we search using these keywords, blah, blah, blah. So that is this method part. I will talk about that in detail. And then you have the main body. I also give you some suggestions on the main body. The main body is also a work in process. But the idea is that after the main body, you will finish with hopefully with a visual representation of what you have reviewed. So for example, I will also give you more details, but maybe you will finish with what you are aiming to study, like in a circle, and then around it, mini circles with things that are important. This is especially useful in qualitative research. If you have a quantitative study, then I think the visual representation is even easier to show, because probably you will have the X and the Y, and then you have a line in there, almost like setting the hypothesis. So in the next video, I want to go into detail about the literature review method, and then in another one, I talk about the main body and the visual representations.